Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be introducing you to my toys, to my toy characters, their names, a bit about their backstory. For those who do not know, let's put you down. For those who do not know, my channel is Sarah and Chutney. This is my co-host Chutney, and I suppose this is a good place to start. So I bought Chutney when I was 9 years old, and since then, so it's been over 20 years since then, I have been making an imaginary world or paracosm based around Chutney and the character of Chutney. All of the characters and the toys we're going to meet today are all associates of Chutney. Chutney is a Chutasian hedgehog, so she is a hedgehog from the world of Chutasia who has travelled through time and space to inhabit the body of a toy on planet Earth. That's kind of the outline of the story, and all of the characters here link in some way to Chutney or Chutney's journey. There are now quite a lot of videos on my channel actually explaining a bit about Chutney, about where she's from, a bit about how she travelled through time and space to inhabit a toy body on Earth. I've done a video about that. But I thought, before getting kind of carried away on my channel making really complicated videos and timelines, let's just do an overview of everyone, of all of the toys. I haven't counted how many there are. I'm looking at this giant box. And there are a couple missing, so there will be more videos introducing toys. Some of them, Chutney has shared with me lots of information about their backstory, and some of them I don't know so much about them. So in the coming weeks, months, years, decades on my YouTube, we will be learning more and more about these furry friends. So let's start off with this one. Okay, this one. Oh, that's not very polite, is it? So this is Alfredo, and Alfredo, you've been on the channel before, and Alfredo is Chutney's dad. I think we probably won't go into too much how all of these toys from Chutasia and other places, how they've also ended up on planet Earth, because they all have their stories about how their characters inhabited toy bodies. But yeah, I'll just give a bit of information about each one. So Alfredo does have his own video that we did for him, but in short, he's Chutney's dad. He is a spy for the Chutasian government, although quite a unique spy. He has very honest principles, so he doesn't like to lie or deceive when he's spying, which of course is amusing in its own right, and there's lots of stories about his honest spying. So yeah, you're Alfredo, and I'll put the link to Alfredo's sort of intro video in the description. So thanks, Alfredo. Let's put him there. So next up, this is Elvis. So I don't know if Elvis, I'm not sure if you've been on the channel before. Elvis has been mentioned in quite a few videos actually. Elvis is Chutney's uncle. So Elvis is also a Chutasian hedgehog. And of course, as Chutney's uncle, he is also a royal, because Chutney is a princess of Chutasia. So you're also part of the royal family, although you're not in the direct line of the throne. It's your sister who's the queen. Right. So this is Elvis. His full name is Elvis Parsley, which does have a link to Elvis Presley. I don't know if we'll delve into right now. No, perhaps not. And Elvis owns a radio station. He is a radio show host in Chutasia, and as part of Chutney's journey through Chutasia before she ends up on planet Earth, she does have some interactions with Uncle Elvis. Uncle Elvis strangely has like an American accent. I don't feel like doing it right now. So a lot of these toys, by the way, will have voices and they will have personalities. And yes, and slowly they will make their way onto the internet. We'll just see who naturally emerges today. I'm trying to make my videos a bit more relaxed, a bit more playful, a bit more chill. I think I had tried out doing a style of video that was a bit more serious and scripted and a bit like being a TV host. I'm not totally sure that that's sustainable, because my world is really big and complex and growing every day, and if I want to be able to document and keep up with everything that's going on in my world, I'm going to have to churn these videos out faster. But ideally with not ruining the quality too much. So anyway, let me know what you think of this video. This is a bit more chaotic. So this is Elvis. Yeah, I mean, he's quite a big character, and I've had Elvis, the actual cuddly toy body of Elvis, for quite some time, probably nearly as long as Chutney. So that's nice. Good to have you with us, Elvis. On to who is next. I think we do have some more hedgehogs. So this is a hedgehog who doesn't really have a name. We're a bit suspicious of this hedgehog. So the Earth story of this hedgehog is for some time I wanted to try to find more. This was back a long time ago. Chutney is quite an old toy now, but at some point in the past I was trying to buy, like, I don't want to say a duplicate of Chutney, that's not quite it, but I was looking for toys in a similar style to Chutney. And there was an eBay listing, I think, which had like Chutney's exact picture. This was ages ago. And I was like, oh my God, it's exactly Chutney. And so I bought what was exactly Chutney on eBay. And this is what showed up, which I don't know, guys, but I wouldn't say that they're exactly Chutney. So we're a bit suspicious of this dude because he seems to be like an imposter. He's a bit scary. He doesn't really say anything. He just kind of goes like that. It's kind of scary. Didn't know I was ever going to do that on the internet. But anyway, so if you have followed any of the videos so far, you'll know that there has been a recent conflict in the world of Chutasia. There was the War of the Potato. That has been covered in some videos, so I won't go into it too much. But as part of that, we know that there are so Chutney is a member of the royal family, and there are sort of anti-establishment and anti-royal rebel groups and things like that. And I would guess that this guy, I would guess he's probably a scary character. Maybe not, well, scary in the world of Chutasia is not really scary. But I would guess that, yeah, you're probably some sort of spy, some sort of to infiltrate and report on what Chutney's been up to. And, you know, you've done well, because I've had you just with all the toys on the toy shelf for like many years now. So you must have a lot of insider intel. So that is Unnamed dude. All the others do have names, just not you. But I don't know, I'm a bit scared of you. Okay. Who is next? Do we have some more hedgehogs? I've got this giant. I might as well show it, hopefully without whacking the mic. This is Sarah doing more casual videos. Okay, so I have, this isn't actually how I store them. Actually, I recently built them a very nice glass front shelves so that I could see them. They could be on display, but that on display is not fair. They could, I could see them and chat to them, and they could see me throughout the day. But that they wouldn't get dust on them. So they have actually recently got like a kind of like beautiful home, but for this video they're in this box. So I'm looking for some more hedgehogs, please. Hedgehogs? Because you may be surprised there are animals in here that are not hedgehogs. What's that about? Well, I will come to it in a minute, but let's just finish the hedgehogs. Okay, let's get some hedgehogs out. There's a hedgehog. Because Chutasia is a world of just hedgehogs. I think I have covered that. Although the hedgehogs are, you know, you have sort of different tribes of hedgehogs, I suppose you'd call it, where they do have different characteristics in terms of their looks. Yes, here we go. But they are all hedgehogs. Right, I think that's enough to be going with. So, oof. Right. It's like wrestling with a box of cuddly toys. So we have these little hedgehogs. I don't know if my camera is going to like this. Oh, they're so cute. Right. So they are a family. They look like a family and they are a family. So they're called the Advice family. Now this will need a bit of explanation, and I will give some explanation. So these little ones are from the island, or the sort of area of an island, called Nosyton. And Nosyton was covered in my sort of geography video of Chutasia. I can't remember how much I said about Nosyton. Nosyton is home to Chutasia's only prison. And well, before it was home to Chutasia's only prison, it was home to this tribe of more than this. This isn't the tribe. This is a select few members of the tribe, to a tribe of very, very small hedgehogs. Because if you look in comparison to Chutney, who is absolutely massive, they're quite small. You see, so Chutney is like, you know, they're kind of scared of Chutney. So on Nosyton, you have all these little hedgehogs, and I can't remember. And again, I need to forgive myself. If I'm going to be able to make these videos, I'm not going to be able to perfectly remember every single time all of the facts. I can't remember who built the prison. I think it was the royal family in some shape or form, but I can't remember who in the royal family. That'll have to be in the future. When they wanted to select where to build the prison in Chutasia, there's just one prison. They quite, I don't know, it was an interesting logic. What they determined is, you are little hedgehogs, and therefore you don't need all of your land because you're only little. And so they pushed the little hedgehogs out of their homeland onto this little island, which is called Hedgeclemming, if I remember correctly, which is next to Nosyton. But although these guys are little, they are mighty, and they did not go down without a fight, and I'd say the fight is still ongoing. And so this is really quite a long story, actually. So these lot are a family, and they are a family of rebels, and they ended up actually being put in the prison on Nosyton because they were kind of the resistance, I suppose. And when Chutney's mum, Chutney's family, oh, this is going to be a long story. Okay, just keep going. Just keep going, Sarah. We're going to be doing this for decades. You might as well just get used to talking. All right, so during the War of the Potato, many of you will know, the royal family, they go to Nosyton, where the prison is, because there's so much security because of the prison. They think, oh, that will be a good place to hide out, where it's safe. So it's safe because it's a prison with lots of security, but it's also kind of not safe because it's where all the criminals are. So it's a bit of an unusual choice, but the royals basically hide out in Nosyton and neighbouring Nosun. For part of the War of the Potato, and that's actually where Chutney is born, because Chutney is born during the War of the Potato. And so while the royal family are sort of living in and around the prison, they meet these little ones, and they kind of become like servants to the royal family. I don't know what their motives are exactly. I would guess that they're, I don't know, I wouldn't want to expose your true motives, but I would guess that maybe they're not completely servants to the royal family. But I don't know what their actual names are. They're only called Advice. So they're called the Advice family. So this one is called Financial Advice. And so he is the servant that would be called upon, the royals would call upon if they want some financial advice. So he has a very like, I was going to make him talk in the microphone, but that isn't how it works, is it? Because you're going to, you know, you're communicating with me and then I speak for you, right? So this one is financial advice. So he would be like, do you want some financial advice? That would be his little phrase is, do you want some financial advice? And he's very scared of Chutney, because Chutney, you know, Chutney's a bit boisterous. She has good intentions, but she's a bit boisterous. And we had financial advice with us on Earth for quite a long time. And then we met, this is financial advice's wife, who is called Cooking Advice. So she would say, would you like some cooking advice? And her sort of role as a servant, I suppose, is to do cooking and things like that. And then the final one is, would you like some pooping advice? Oh no, I don't think that's his voice. I think his voice is a bit more strained. I don't know if I feel like doing it on the internet, but it's more like, would you like some pooping advice? Anyway. Anyway, so the idea behind this is actually, so I'll put you guys down, the little advice family. They do have, I suppose they do have real names, but I don't know what their real names are. But pooping advice in particular, there is something a bit intelligent behind this, she says. I don't know, I think it's in, oh, I should look it up. I'm pretty sure it's in like the Tudor period in England. The king would have a sort of special servant who would help him go to the toilet. I think he was called Master of the Stool. I'll have to write that on the screen if I've got it correctly. But anyway, this role of Master of the Stool, helping the king go to the toilet, was actually like a very privileged position, because you'd get lots of alone time with the king, and you'd kind of get to, you know, whisper and you know, put forward your ideas or whatever when the king was in a vulnerable position. So this little hedgehog, you know, being pooping advice, you might think that's crazy. Well, actually it's not. There's a president, and actually you're not just called pooping advice. So as I said, I'm pretty sure that the equivalent role in English history, I think it's called Master of the Stool. But because this is a female, she's called Maid of the Stool. Okay, all right. There are some toilet jokes in this world. So yeah, this is pooping advice or Maid of the Stool. I'm sorry, and you're brown as well, I know. Right, so that's the advice family. We did them in quite a lot of detail. Right, so now I've finished all the hedgehogs in my box. Of course, there are lots of Chutasian hedgehogs, just not all of them are on Earth. And there are other Chutasian hedgehogs, but they're just not with me in this location. It's a bit like, again, sort of English royal family, that they can't all be in one place at once in case there is some sort of natural disaster. So there are some hedgehogs that are elsewhere. But I'll keep talking about some characters that are linked to Chutasia, but not Chutasian. Whoa, what's happening here? So let's get back these two. I think it's just these two. So Chutney, the hedgehog, she is from the world of Chutasia, which is filled with hedgehogs. But neighbouring to the realm of Chutasia, is a place called Cheselan. And Cheselan has lots of different animals and things, and not just I don't know if they have hedgehogs. Oh, they do have hedgehogs, but mostly they have other animals, including these two. So there are going to be questions raised about, well, what the hell are they doing on Earth? How's all this happening? And there are explanations for this, but I'm not going to delve into them. So for now, let's just introduce them. So this is Mr. Sprinkles, the unicorn. And this is Mr. Squirrel, the squirrel. And in Cheselan, they do often have the sort of Mr. title. So yeah, you're Mr. Squirrel from Nottingham, in Squirrel Land. And yeah, he's an inventor. He's actually, so if you know anything about the Chutasian story, Chutney has come through a time travel microwave, invented is questionable. We'll do that on another video. But Chutney has gone through time travel microwave, and Mr. Squirrel in Nottingham, in Cheselan, he has also built a time travel microwave, and he is the kind of technological expert of all of these here. I wouldn't say you're exactly a scientist, but he's sort of an inventor, and he has lots of technological knowledge. There is also all this stuff about your family history and things like that. So we won't go into that now, but that's Mr. Squirrel, and there'll be lots of stories about Mr. Squirrel. Where can I get rid of you two? Okay, so Mr. Sprinkles. So there's something interesting. So Mr. Sprinkles, many would say, is the last unicorn. Boo hoo. That sounded sarcastic. So Cheselan used to be filled with unicorns, of which Mr. Sprinkles was one of many. He has a very cheerful character. You're taking the limelight. The camera thinks that you're the host. So what happened is, how do I explain? So I did a series previously talking about kind of key moment in the recent history of Chutasia, with the kind of founding of the Chutasian calendar and the sort of current Chutasian era, which centers around some hedgehogs going from the island of Ariziko onto the mainland of Chutaland and bringing with them sort of ancient wisdom and skills and things like that. And a lot of the kind of key events in sort of recent Chutasian history link or are associated with this the Ariziko Misto Man. I've done a series about that, so I won't talk about that too much. I can't remember if I mentioned in that series, but around the time that the Ariziko Misto Men travel from Ariziko to Chutaland, there is a comet visible in the sky, and that comet throughout the different Chutasian islands, but also in Cheselan, some think that it's a sign of good things to come, some think it's a sign of bad things to come, some just think it means this significant event is about to happen. And that comet was visible when the Ariziko Misto Men went to Chutaland. That comet is, of course, called the Vomit Comet. And the Vomit Comet, one of the times that it passed Cheselan, it brought unicorns with it. So I think there were unicorns flying on the comet. I don't know exactly how this works. Whether there was unicorn DNA on the comet, I don't really know. But at some point, long time in history, this Vomit Comet brought unicorns to Cheselan. But unfortunately, in the Vomit Comet that passed when the Ariziko Misto Men came, that Vomit Comet actually, parts of it hit, I believe. I don't know things about space. But basically there was some sort of collision of space rocks and Cheselan, and it wiped out all of the unicorns except for Mr. Sprinkles. And so for a lot of his life, Mr. Sprinkles has been the only unicorn. And, you know, that has led him to find unique coping strategies that may or may not involve illegal substances. So Mr. Sprinkles is kind of, you know, interested in pharmaceuticals. And some of you will know that there is not really like free trade or like open trading between Chutasia and Cheselan. There are, of course, there are ships that go back and forth, spreading knowledge and goods including the types of goods that Mr. Sprinkles might be interested in. So that's sort of how Mr. Sprinkles is linked in the story. Chutney actually knows Mr. Sprinkles from Chutasia, from some of the things. Chutney accidentally gets involved herself in illegal activities, doesn't she? And she meets Mr. Sprinkles. I think she meets you, or at least she meets others who know you. She's in like your friendship group, I don't know what you'd call it, your network. But Mr. Sprinkles being the last unicorn, there's something interesting. So, as I said, the Vomit Comet is very auspicious. And when Chutney was born under the light of another Vomit Comet. So for some, that means Chutney is like a bringer of doom. And for others, it means she's a bringer of hope, or just, you know, a significant character. But there is a increasing school of thought within us toys. I'm not a toy. Within us here, that perhaps the Vomit Comet that came when Chutney was born fairly recently might have brought some more unicorns with it to Cheselan. So Mr. Sprinkles might not be the last unicorn after all. But we'll have to see. Right, that's enough about Mr. Sprinkles. How can I get rid of you? So the next group of toys, I think maybe I will not go into great depth because they are toys that belong to my partner Max. So I'll have to explain that, of course, Chutney, oh, what are you doing, Bamboo? It's not your go yet. You can sit there. So, Chutney's life, of course, she's born in Chutasia and she has all of her stories and things from Chutasia. Then she goes in the time travel microwave, travels to Earth, and now obviously her life has continued on Earth. So Chutney's story is, of course, her life back in Chutasia, but Chutney's story is also her life on Earth with me. So filming this YouTube video is also part of the story of the paracosm. Whoa. So we so my partner Max also has toys, cuddly toys from his childhood, or some from his childhood, some from his adulthood. And of course Chutney has met these toys, and the toys from Chutasia, the sort of personalities from Chutasia, have obviously now collided with this other franchise of cuddly toys. So it's kind of complicated, but now there are lots of toys who are not from Chutasia who find themselves within the Chutasia story. So I don't want to speak too much for Max about all of his characters, but I'll show some of them. I mean, his characters are not as in depth as mine. We play with them together. I did do a video with Max about cuddly toys that'll be linked somewhere, so you can see what does he look like or whatever people care about. So Max's kind of franchise. Let's get rid of you, Chutney. I know you can't be the star of every shot, Chutney. You're already in the channel name. It's Sarah and Chutney, you know. So Max's favorite's not maybe fair, but Max's sort of most sentimental cuddly toy is Léon the lion. His body has been redone, but his face has not, bless him. So Léon the lion is kind of like, I wouldn't want to say his equivalent of Chutney, but his world is like Leonesia, which is, where Léon comes from. Oh. And so he has Leonesia and all of the kind of animals that are sort of connected to Léon. They, rather than being like sort of an essence of a Chutasian or a Cheselan sort of inhabiting a toy body, instead they're kind of, the way they work is they're organic plush, is what I'm told. I don't know exactly how it works. So I'll show you now some of the organic plush toys. Who have sort of collided with the Chutasia franchise. So of course we have Léon the lion, and then we have a bunch of lion toys actually, and some of them we don't really know much about yet. This one is called Happy. His bow tie's falling off. Ironically, Happy is not always very happy. Actually, Happy is very sad. But he's called Happy. I don't know if that's meaner that you're called Happy and you're very sad, because the thing is, like, he can't stand up, like, so wherever you put him, he always falls over. So yeah, we called him Happy. Oh, it's a bit mean, isn't it? And then, so I think that we have Happy's family. Oh god, yeah, where are they? So there's these. This one is called, hold on. Right, here we go. So we've got these two. They're called the twins. Again, they don't have like fully fledged well, they do have personalities, we just don't know much about them, do we? No. So they're twins. This one is called Princess. She's got a kind of bow that I need to retie. This one's Princess, and this one is called Blank. So the idea is that Blank doesn't have like his own personality, just like copies other people's personalities. So that's the lion twins, and that's their dad, Happy. Have we got some more lions? Yes, we do. I think that is the wife of Happy, who's called Dizzy, because she looks crazy. How can I show you? So that's Dizzy. Although we're not super fond is not very nice, but we don't talk to them so much. They keep themselves. Then we have Bamboo, who is a new addition. I'll save about Bamboo's personality. We'll let Max talk about Bamboo's personality. A lot of Max's toys are a bit they have did I just show you? How did you get back in the box, Dizzy? Hold on, a rogue Cheselan. We have Perry the dinosaur. Oh, you've blended in. Perry the dinosaur is from Cheselan, and he's very, very forgetful. When you talk to him, he pretty much can only say My name's Perry, what's your name? And then he just repeats that over and over. Sometimes he can get a bit further, like, oh, that's interesting, my name's Perry. So I'm hoping someday Perry will have a miraculous memory return and start telling us about his history in Cheselan, but until then, it's just, my name's Perry, what's your name? You say, my name's Sarah. Oh, that's interesting. My name's Perry. Oh, nice to meet you, Perry. Perry's my name. There you go. So that's what Perry's like. Right, back to the organic plush. Oh, this box is just so big. Hold on, guys. Hold on. So we've got Bamboo, already seen. Mr. Sprinkles, we did a whole segment on you. Mr. Squirrel, of course. Ah, yes. So we have Bussi, and Bussi is quite a big character, currently dressed as a wizard. So we should not call him Bussi, we should call him Busius the Wise. So this is Bussi, and again, I'll save it because maybe Max will want to do a video about his toys. So Bussi is an organic plush, and Bussi is always very angry, and he doesn't really, he's always a bit angry. And you're not a cat. No, you're not a cat. Oh, don't get makeup on you. You're not a cat. He's a kitty. So Bussi is, I think Bussi's lovely. He's a bit angry at me all the time, but yeah. And then we have Bussi's mummy, who is called Trudi. And then we have Tommy, who's very, very posh. And he has like a private jet and things like that. And do you have a private jet? Yeah, I think you do, yeah. And yeah, there's a bit of a family drama going on here because so we have Bussi and then Bussi's mum, and then Bussi's mum has started a romance with Tommy, and I don't know, sometimes they have arguments and stuff. And who's left? We have this guy. Oh my god, don't fall off. This guy who is called, what are you called? Smiley, I think he's called. Can't remember, but this is what Léon originally looked like. Oh, bless. So yeah, we have Smiley, and then the last we have Wanni, who of course you might recognize is originally Thumper from Bambi, but Max actually never saw Bambi, I don't think, so he didn't know that it was Thumper. But this is not Thumper, this is Wanni, and Wanni is a carrot farmer. So yeah, so let me just summarize, because there is some linking. So what happened is, oh my god, I'm just surrounded by cuddly toys. Honestly, it's my kind of heaven, actually. Let's put this down. Oh god. So what happened is, obviously we're very attached to all of our organic plush friends. And so Mr. Squirrel, because he's a kind of engineer technology guy, has found a way to upload the personalities of the organic plush into the Chutasian cloud. So I think I did talk in one of my videos about like what happens when I die, which seems very weird, seems like it doesn't connect. But in that video, I talked a bit about how the different toys from Chutasia, it's their sort of essence that is inhabiting their toy bodies, and that if their toy bodies were lost, it's fine because their essence, well, it's not fine, hold on, it's not fine, but their essence would remain in the time soup. Go and watch that video. I think it was in that video. Basically, their essence wouldn't be lost and could inhabit another toy if necessary, or we could still talk to them. And that offers me great safety and security, that I cannot lose any of my friends because they are with me in the time soup. But yeah, we got a bit worried at some point because what about all the organic plush? They haven't come through the time soup. We might lose our friends. And then Mr. Squirrel said, "Don't worry, I will just upload them. That's not how you talk." But he managed to do something technological, and now all of our organic plush friends are nice and safely stored in the Chutasian cloud as well. Again, maybe I'll make another video about that if it's unclear. If it's unclear, it is unclear. Because it's, yeah. Well, it's complicated stuff, that's why it's unclear. So, Oh God, they're just everywhere. They're so cute. Right, I think I'm gonna wrap up now. So come here, Chutney. Come here. Say goodbye to the people. So we hope you enjoyed this video. And if there's any character that you'd like to know more about, then do let us know. Just naturally, as I tell more stories, I will touch on more about these characters, how they ended up on Earth with Chutney, who they are, how they link to each other, etc. So thank you for watching. Yeah, cool. See you soon. Bye-bye.